Maiduguri-Damboa highway cut off after torrential rains wreak havoc. EFCC refutes custody claims, confirms Yahaya Bello is still on wanted list. Bauchi parents struggle as demand for school fees surges amidst economic crunch. On the foreign scene, deadly blasts in Lebanon, 9 killed, 300 injured in latest explosions. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News, or rather, News Hour tonight on Trust TV. I'm Muhammad Kudu Abubakar. Flood resulting from heavy downpour has completely cut off the Maiduguri-Damboa highway near Dalwa village in Konduga local government area of Borno State, rendering the road inaccessible. The incident, which occurred on Tuesday, has made the road impassable, forcing motorists to use alternative routes to their destinations. Speaking at the scene, Damboa local government area chairman Ali Mohammed Kauji emphasized the road's importance, which serves as a critical link between southern Borno and the state capital, Maiduguri. He appealed to the state government to urgently intervene and repair the dilapidated highway to ease the transportation of goods and services for the overall benefit of the state, noting that Damboa local government area is one of the major suppliers of food commodities to the state capital. A devastating floodwater struck Maiduguri last week, killing more than 37 people and displacing over 200,000 persons, who are currently housed in 36 camps within the Maiduguri metropolis. Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has donated 500 million naira to the Borno state government to complement intervention efforts for victims affected by the devastating flood that occurred last week. The First Lady made the donation through the wife of the Vice President, Nana Kashim Shatima, who was accompanied by wives of some state governors to Borno State. Trust TV's Beatrice Kurisi has these and other condolence visits to the state. His report.
The wife of Vice President Nana Kashim Shettima, who represented Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu, first paid a visit to the Shehu of Borno at his palace to console with him and the people of Borno over the loss of lives and properties during the devastating flood in Maiduguri. She was also in the government house to meet with Governor Zulum, where she made a presentation of 500 million naira to the state government.
Yes.
Your Excellency, the Mother of the Nation, said that you are in her prayers and thoughts. And inshallah, we are all going to rally around you to compliment the good work that you are doing to the good people of Borno State.
The President has been contributing enormously towards uplifting the standard of living of women and indeed the vulnerable population, not only in Borno State but in Nigeria in general, since she assumed duty as the First Lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have received a lot of donations from her initiatives.
Others who also visited the government house include top politicians from Borno South Senatorial District led by Senator Ali Ndume, the Deputy Governor, and traditional chiefs from the constituency. They presented a check of 200 million naira to the Governor of Borno State, Babagana Zulum.
We know what you are going through, and we felt there is a need for us to come and assure you of our support for what you are doing. We also are in response to your call during the state broadcast, which you requested that everybody who has anything to support the people of Borno should do so.
What we have seen in Nigeria today is because of black options. This is our greatest problem. And the peace that we are getting in Borno State, apart from this insurgent, is because of our unity in diversity. Let us maintain this status quo. And where peaceable, let us increase our collaboration. Let us increase our unity. Because we are to gain a lot.
Meanwhile, the Deputy Governor of Taraba State was also in Borno State to commiserate with the government and people following the devastating Maiduguri flood. The delegation presented 100 million naira to support relief efforts for victims. Governor Zulum appreciated all the support and assured that the funds will be utilized for the intended purpose. Bitrus Kuruti, Trust TV News, Maiduguri.
Kwara State government has urged residents of the state to take seriously the various flood alerts, enlightenment and precautionary measures already put forward by the state government and traditional institutions. In a statement on Tuesday, Commissioner for Communication, Bola Olukoju, said various agencies of government have conducted several public enlightenment programs on flooding and how to mitigate its impacts in areas that are prone to it. The statement added that the government has desilted many drainages and water passages within the metropolis, while discouraging actions that may compound the threats of climate crisis and rise in water levels. It noted that the state government will continue to lend its voice to calls for the dredging of the River Niger, which is the permanent solution to the perennial flooding in that axis. Away from the flooding, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, says embattled former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello is not in the custody of the anti-graft agency. In a statement on Wednesday, EFCC spokesman Dele Oyewale said the former governor remains wanted for alleged 80.2 billion naira money laundering charges. The statement noted that media reports on Wednesday alleging that Yahaya Bello is in the holding facility of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, were incorrect. Oyewale, while affirming that Bello is not in EFCC's custody, maintained that the former governor remains wanted with a subsisting warrant for his arrest. Meanwhile, a statement by the director Yahaya Bello Media Office, Ohiare Michael, said the former governor visited the anti-graft agency after months of back and forth and an attempt by the agency to arrest him. According to the statement, the FCC did not, however, interrogate him as officials told him he could leave. Joining us on via Zoom is Sunday Amos, an anti-corruption campaigner. Sunday Amos, welcome to Trust TV News.
Thank you, Kudu. Good evening.
Good evening. What do you make of the statement from the EFCC alleging that Yahaya Bello is not in their custody?
Well, what I would love to find out from the EFCC would be, did he come? As the Yahaya Bello's media team are saying that he honored the invitation of the EFCC. So EFCC should tell us, did Yahaya Bello come to you? If he came to you, what did you do that you are still declaring him wanted? Because it is only the admittance of the EFCC that he came that for me will clear the air. And if, and this is a big if Yahaya Bello came and you let him go, then it doesn't make sense for you to still declare him wanted. This morning I was reading that it was a sting operation that got him arrested. And this evening I just listened to Channel's news saying that he has left the premises of the EFCC. So if he came and you let him go, then it does not make sense for the EFCC to declare Yahaya Bello still wanted.
So why do you think Ohiare Michael will be telling the world that indeed Yahaya Bello was at the EFCC?
Come again, sorry?
I said, why do you think Ohiari Michael, the media aide for Yahya Bello, will be telling the world that Yahya Bello, his boss, was indeed at the EFCC office today and that the EFCC didn't ask him any questions? Why would you think Ohiari Michael will be saying that when EFCC, according to you, is even yet to tell the world that Yahya Bello indeed was in their office today?
Well, Kudu, the confusion around Yahya Bello is just reminiscent of the confusion around this country. It's all about politics, and Yahya Bello and his people can do anything to avoid any arrest. And so I expect him to play every kind of game that he has in his sleeve to play in order to justify whatever it is that he's doing. But for me, what is becoming more glaring, forgive me, is the incompetence of the EFCC. I would expect that by now, one man like this cannot hide from the long arm of the law. Where is interagency cooperation between the EFCC, the police, the DSS, and so on and so forth, that we cannot arrest one man? And today we are reading that his people are saying he came to EFCC. Could it be possible that he didn't go and they will claim that he went? Is it possible for Yahya Bello to go to EFCC and there are no photographs, there are no cameras, there are no media people? And if it is so, how could he have gone to EFCC office and be let go? That is the one that does not make sense to me. So I expect Yahya Bello to play every kind of game, but I do not expect EFCC to allow itself, to be embarrassed in such a way that he can go and his officials will not interrogate him or even hold him and to let him go. And then you come out with a media statement that he's still a wanted person. It doesn't make sense for me, Kudu.
Well, when you look at it now, as an anti-corruption campaigner, you must have your sources all across, be it within the security agencies or even within the other civil society organizations like yours. So what are you hearing?
Well, there's definitely no question about it, although our laws presume every human being or every man as innocent until proven guilty. But to read the statement that Yahya Bello was the first person to set up an anti-graft this and that, he's a law-abiding this and that, with all the things that you have heard about his tenure, maybe it will be sub judice to declare him guilty. That is why I would have loved every process to have been exhausted. So my worry is really not Yahya Bello. My worry is about how EFCC is going about this whole thing. If we had a more serious engagement with the EFCC, by now Yahya Bello ought to have been arrested, no matter where he's hiding. By now, the processes in court should have commenced and gone very far. But we see the EFCC more, playing a media game, a media prosecution, rather than going about whatever they can do to arrest and prosecute Yahya Bello properly. So I am not impressed. My sources and all the people that we keep sharing information gives the impression that EFCC is not serious about prosecuting Yahya Bello. Kudu.
Sunday Amos, anti-corruption campaigner, thank you so much for your insights. Moving on now.
It's been a pleasure.
The government has initiated a thorough investigation into the root causes of the recent earth tremors that rattled the Mpape area in Abuja. The tremors, which began on the night of the September the 16th, 2024, alarmed the residents with reports of 6 to 8 seismic events being recorded. First detected at about 11 p.m., the tremors led to widespread concern due to loud noises and ground shaking in the vicinity. During a ministerial press briefing, the Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Uche Nnaji, assured the public that a team of experts from the Center for Geodesy and Geodynamics, an arm of the National Space Research Development Agency, is actively analyzing the tremors using sophisticated earthquake analysis software. According to data from seismographs, the tremors included 3 foreshocks and 3 aftershocks, with the main seismic event occurring, at 11 p.m., 18 minutes after 11, which recorded a local magnitude of 3.1 and a focal depth of 11 kilometers. This significant geological disturbance, experts believe, may be attributed to the reactivation of faults within the Mpape locality, a region that has experienced similar tremors in the past, notably between September 5 and 7, 2018. Parents in Bauchi State have continued to lament the high increase in school fees following the rising cost of living amid fuel price hikes. 2 weeks after schools reopened for the new session, some parents who are yet to meet up with their financial obligations in school are urging the government and school authorities to consider other ways of addressing the challenges affecting the entire basic education system. Trust TV's Adamu Imam has the report.
For parents in Bauchi State, these are not the best of times as the lingering economic hardship bedeviling many families in the country has been worsened by the recent hike in fuel prices. As an aftermath of the fuel price hike, proprietors of schools have jacked up the cost of academic materials and fees, leaving many parents wondering how to meet up.
You chose to take your child, your kid, to a school very far away from your destination, from your home, and now it has become necessary for you to either remove the children from the school or change for the one that is very close within the vicinity of where you are staying. So there are a lot of strategies being done by the parents. We look at what we can afford and then we do it. The solution is that the school management, they have to come down and look into the situation. We are all parents, then too they have children in their other schools. So they have to come and see what at least we will join hands and move together. Affordable levy of the school fees so that parents, they can adopt their children where they are. Because it's not easy to remove your children from where you are at this station. First step, to go and renew their school fees again.
One of the proprietors within the metropolis expressed worry over the slow resumption of students, saying this may not be unconnected to the current economic downturn, which he said could affect children's performance in school.
Go around, you see the rate at which parents are bringing in new students is very low. You go to some classes now, up to now, we've not registered 10 students in one class, which is not as it is. By this time, some other years, we don't even have space. We are even telling parents to go elsewhere because our classes are filled up. But now, that's what we see. The enrollment is very low.
They urge the federal government to always consider the masses when implementing any policy, especially those affecting the common man directly. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
Across the nation, the sharp increase in fuel prices is hitting harder, driving up daily expenses and making it difficult for many to keep up. With transportation costs soaring and pushing up the prices of essential commodities, Nigerians in Lagos are calling for urgent measures that will lessen the economic burden on Nigerians. The report.
As the financial pressure on households grows, many are calling on the government to take swift action to stabilize fuel prices. There is a belief that doing so could help curb inflation and ease the burden that so many people are now feeling. Residents who spoke with Trust TV shared how the rising cost of fuel is affecting their budget.
Apart from the income and all, fuel has caused a lot of changes. So in income, talk about income, talk about the monthly salary and all. If you calculate all the amounts that we spend just for transportation to the work, it has taken half of the salary. So when we just look at that, it's discouraged a lot. So what I would advise or what I would implore is that the price of the fuel should be reduced because that affected a lot of things in the community.
As I'm coming here now, I even want to quarrel with the bus conductor from Ojota down to this side. They took 500 naira from me, which is not like that before. So where I'm going to, I'm not sure of getting something from there. You understand? So it's like this time around, if you don't have anything to do at somewhere, you stay at your home because of the price, transportation price, and even these things. It affects a lot.
One concerned citizen, while speaking on the matter, expressed disappointment over rumors that the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation (NNPC) may sell the products in dollars rather than naira, arguing that this may further drive up prices.
There should be a price that will be um, favorable to us, given the fact that this refinery is now in our country. We're not having to export over and bring it back to. So we're hearing some funny stories. I believe that the price should come down in a way that we should be able to afford it, right? So the what they call this premium car fuel spray, whatever it is. So it should be in a way that we should be able to afford it, right? I don't like the fact that I heard that NNPC was going to sell in dollars to him first. They had to mitigate that to naira effect. So, man, I don't know. It's sad.
As rising fuel prices continue to impact fuel owners nationwide, many are seeking alternative solutions to reduce costs. To this end, compressed natural gas (CNG) is quickly gaining popularity as a viable and cost-effective option. Shamil Chandra, a leading expert in the field, explains how CNG is being promoted as an ideal alternative fuel source for vehicle owners.
CNG is lighter than air and it dissipates in the air. So even in terms of safety, CNG is much safer compared to diesel and petrol. So for those who have not yet converted, they should convert their cars immediately. The good thing about CNG conversion is that it will be dual fuel. So at any given time, there will not just be one source of fuel for your vehicle, but there will be two sources of fuel.
With fuel prices playing a significant role in the cost of living, the call for a more consumer-friendly price structure continues to gain momentum. Citizens are hoping the government and relevant authorities take these concerns seriously to ease the economic pressure.
Residents of Ilaje Ayetoro have been voicing their frustrations following the recent demolition of their homes with no prior notice. Before the demolition and nowhere to go after the exercise, many have been left stranded and forced to live on the streets. Our correspondent spoke with one resident, Precious, who shared her personal struggle during these difficult times. The report.
In the aftermath of the exercise, several families have been left stranded after their homes were demolished in a government-sanctioned operation. The demolitions, which have affected both indigents and non-indigents alike, have sparked widespread despair among the displaced residents. The destruction in Ilaje Ayetoro has left residents struggling to survive. Without shelter, many are forced to sleep on the streets, while others, in a desperate bid to survive, have sold off their remaining belongings to buy food. Destruction of their homes, combined with reports of arson, has intensified the community's sense of loss. The faith of the remaining residents hangs in the balance as they scramble to figure out their next step. With no clear resettlement plan in the plate and no guarantee of compensation, the future remains uncertain for those still holding up to what little remains of their homes.
It's a community of its own. It has been existing. It's a community. They have ballet, they have topic, some local government. We vote them. We have polls. Yeah, you know what I mean? And this estate you see, this very estate, is where they remove them to this place and give them this very place to stay. So why should we suddenly, the man couldn't demolish that place that day, he then said, okay, let them go, they are coming back. They give everybody here 7 days. They are coming back to demolish this place. Unsurprisingly.
I went to my primary school, my secondary school. This is the place I went everything. If they want us to go out, they should give us time. To rent house now is very expensive. This Paco they are seeing here, I know how much everybody built this Paco to live in. I know how much they build it. To build Paco, ordinary Paco now is almost like 300,000 naira to build Paco. To pay house rent here is almost like 5,000, 6,000 naira each person. It's not fair. It's not fair. At least they should help us.
Are very difficult on this. I paid 7,000 naira a month for this place, and my due has not, my money has not expired, and they destroyed us. Even my landlady has nowhere to go. She is one of the people that are born in this place and brought up in this place that don't have any other place to go, and everything is destroyed. Her property, everything is destroyed. So it is very, very difficult for us.
Lagos state government should stop invading anywhere Elijah is. We want Lagos state government to leave Ayetoro. Ayetoro is an ancient community, please. And we are learned here. It's because some of our sons are not here. The likes of Ebun, you know him, the lawyer. He is one of our sons here, but presently is outside the country. We want peace in our land. They have demolished the so-called sawmill. Let them leave us here. As you see it now, almost all my people, they have been rendered homeless. Where do you want them to go? Where do you want them to stay?
Government help us. If na small money, make them carry give us. Make them arrange ourselves because we not get the place where they go.
The residents are now appealing to the government for immediate assistance, whether through financial aid or resettlement solutions, as their situation worsens by the day.
The federal government says arrangements have been concluded to destroy all seized illicit arms and ammunition from suspects and other criminals by the end of September. It also disclosed that obsolete, decommissioned, and unserviceable weapons submitted by the arms-bearing agencies will be among those that will be destroyed, permanently removed from circulation. The coordinator of the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons, DIG Johnson Kukumo, retired, who disclosed this at a workshop in Abuja on Tuesday, said the center retrieved a substantial cache of illegal arms from the Nigeria Customs Service on July 1st, 2024. Kukumo said investigation led to the arrest of 10 suspects involved in illicit importation, adding that the suspects are currently being prosecuted by the National Center. The workshop, which centered on gender mainstreaming in preventing the proliferation of small arms and light weapons in Nigeria and West Africa, had the representative of the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, in attendance. Ribadu noted that President Bola Tinubu assented to the bill established to curb proliferation of small arms and light weapons in the country as a step towards addressing an issue of immense importance to Nigeria's national security. The chairman of the Kaduna State Independent Electoral Commission, SIACOM, Hajara Mohammed, said 76 candidates from 10 political parties are to contest for the council elections in the state. Hajara Mohammed made this known while briefing journalists at the end of the screening exercise organized by the commission for chairmanship candidates from 10 political parties that have registered for the forthcoming local government polls in the state. She however disclosed that the commission will display the full names of valid and disqualified candidates that participated in the screening exercise, according to the electoral guidelines on that of 20th September. Hajara Mohammed, however, assured that Kaduna residents that the commission will fully abide by the electoral guidelines and timetable for the October 19th exercise. She further appealed to the candidates from all political parties to play the game by the rules, warning them to avoid any act that may disrupt the peace in the state before, during, and after the elections. The crisis rocking the main opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP, continues as members of the Board of Trustees arrived Bauchi for another closed-door meeting, with barely 24 hours after the National Working Committee members paid a similar visit to the chairman of the party's Governors Forum, Bala Mohammed, in Bauchi State. TOS TV's Adamu Imam reports that the Board of Trustees of the party, led by its chairman Adolphus Wabara, says they are not happy with the current internal crisis rocking the party. The report.
The People's Democratic Party PDP internal wrangling involving Governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, and his former boss, Nyesom Wike, the current FCT minister, is yet to be resolved, prompting the party to hold series of meetings in that regards. According to Board of Trustees, the party will try and meet Wike as part of efforts geared towards addressing the problem as well as other issues affecting the party at the national level.
We have a way of, solving our problems, and we will do that, by the special grace of God. So we will impress Nigerians that confidence they have or they had in PDP for 16 years and counted. We will restore that confidence.
Addressing newsmen after the discussion, the PDP Governors Forum Chairman Bala Mohammed stated that they are on course as PDP governors to bring an end to the crisis rocking the party at the moment and ensure that the party gets its right ahead of the 2027 general elections.
As I said yesterday, the relationship between Wike and Governor Bobra is that of a mentor and a mentee, and nothing is impossible. We have seen them together, and I know we have people here that have talked to them and they will listen, so that it will minimize the divergence of their differences in a manner that the party will have unity in Rivers State.
They also told journalists that issues of reconciliation require a tactical approach so that at the end they are seen to have done justice to parties involved. Adam Imam, Trust TV News, Bauchi.
This is News Hour on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, Nigeria's waste management system on the front burner as environmental concerns rise. More news now. Welcome back. This is News Hour on Trust TV. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Maiduguri-Damboa Highway cut off after torrential rains wreak havoc. And EFCC refutes custody claims, confirms Yahaya Bello still on wanted list. On the 20th of September every year, volunteers and partners worldwide come together to raise awareness on the global mismanagement and the need to address the menace via the World Cleanup Day. Ahead of this year's day, stakeholders in the waste management sector have been speaking on solutions to combat solid wastes, especially plastic waste problems in Nigeria. Neil Simon has more on this.
Nigeria faces an estimated annual production of more than 2 million tons of waste, with plastic constituting 50% of the total waste generated. But according to the stakeholders, providing adequate equipment to waste pickers will help fight the menace of plastic waste, which is Nigeria's biggest waste.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. Most of these waste pickers that you are seeing, they are informal. They work informally. So we want to formalize them. That is why WAPAN exists. To formalize them, rebrand them, so that they can be working formally. So this is just an beginning. With the support of the UNICEF, they will now get at least enlightenment how they will be working with PPEs, because the UNICEF provides some PPEs for them.
Segregation. Once the segregation is done, it is about really collecting those plastic waste and transporting to a place where that waste can be processed properly or recycled by the manufacturer of plastic goods and items. That's how it works. It's the entire cycle we have to look at: the collection, transportation, processing, and reuse or recycle. That entire chain we have to look at it.
The Deputy Director of Planning and Research Statistics, Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, Mesiogu, speaks on the role of the Commission in playing to help fight the issue of waste management in Nigeria.
Enabling them to make sure that at least there should be a behavioral change among the consumers when it comes to waste disposal. FCCPC is an enabler. We are actually not the one to be there, but we are bringing these stakeholders together, enabling them to put things on ground to make sure that our environment is protected, is sustained.
Reducing waste will not only protect the environment, but also save on cost or reduce expenses for disposal. In the same way, recycling and or reusing the waste that is produced benefits the environment by lessening the need to extract resources and lowers the potential for contamination. Noel Samson, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Adamawa State Deputy Governor Professor Caleb Tawa Farauta announced that 1,972 individuals were screened for cervical cancer in the state, with 165 confirmed positive cases. She shared this information during the State Task Force meeting on primary health care, organized by the Adamawa State Primary Health Care Development Agency at the Government House in Iola. Gibson Swadego has the report.
And things we are talking about concerns 21 local government areas.
The meeting, chaired by Deputy Governor Professor Caleb Tawa Farauta, brought together state and non-state actors to review the achievements and challenges of routine immunization efforts from January to July 2024. Professor Farauta praised the recent successes of the cervical cancer awareness, sensitization, and screening campaign across the state's 21 local government areas. She also highlighted the outbreak of other health issues such as measles and stressed the importance of maintaining robust immunization campaigns.
I will also commend the efforts of all towards the recently conducted cervical cancer awareness, sensitization and screening campaign held across the 21 local government areas. I was briefed on the success recorded so far. 1,972 persons screened, and they plan to further evaluate all the detected 165 positive cases so that they can be linked to access their needed care. This is also commendable. Kudos to the team for the gallant feat recorded.
Dr. Suleiman Saidu Bashir, the executive chairman of the State Primary Health Care Development Agency, outlined the upcoming primary health care activities and provided an orientation for new task force members. He discussed key initiatives, including the integrated measles campaign, the rise in acute watery diarrhea cases, the alerts concerning potential flooding.
And if hygiene is not well kept, having access to food, water, fingers, and that's why we're ending up with this thing. And don't forget, the water has come from far away places, and some of them, I think at a point in time, even when we had diphtheria, all the states surrounding Adamawa State had diphtheria except Adamawa State. And cholera, even last year, we had it all around the state. We did our best to prevent it.
Development partners reaffirmed their commitment to enhancing the health of Adamawa State citizens, stressing the importance of adequate budgetary allocations, improved coordination, and sustained support to ensure the effectiveness and efficiency of health care initiatives. Gibson Soadgo, Trust TV News, Yola.
Vice President Kashin Shettima says Nigeria can become the #1 hub of opportunities in the global halal economy if it reassesses its weaknesses and prioritizes its strengths. The objective is to develop a comprehensive halal ecosystem and agree on strategies that will position Nigeria as a top halal exporter, targeting high-value markets. The Vice President spoke on Wednesday during the Halal Economy Stakeholders Engagement Program held at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. Kehinde Amodu reports.
The huge success of Sukuk bonds and the growing appeal of Islamic banking have demonstrated that halal principles are compatible with global economic standards and can benefit all Nigerians. Experts believe tapping into the rapidly growing global halal market will enable Nigeria to diversify its economy, generate foreign exchange, and achieve sustainable growth. The Vice President believes the nation's economic and demographic size puts it in a vantage position to map out a vibrant investment sector for the global halal economy, which is projected to reach a market value of $7.7 billion by 2025. The calculation is that increasing the country's halal exports and a focusing on strategic import substitution will add nearly $1.5 billion to Nigeria's GDP by 2027.
While I commend the private sector for its tremendous contribution to driving the halal economy, particularly in the financial sector, I also encourage all stakeholders to partner with us in delivering this effort. To ensure this, we must attract international investment by showcasing the vast opportunities within Nigeria's halal sector through investor summits, roadshows, and business matchmaking events.
This engagement provides a platform for Nigerian stakeholders to collaborate with key international organizations. There is also a conversation with the private sector, which has made immense contributions to driving the halal economy, particularly in the financial sector.
The halal economy presents a strategic opportunity for our country, particularly given our significant Muslim population. Halal industries, as you have heard from other speakers, spanned across the food industry, pharmaceutical, cosmetics, fashion, and even tourism. Offers vast prospects for sustainable economic growth.
Nigeria's domestic spending on halal products and services reached approximately $107 billion in 2022. This sector is projected to grow at a rate of 10.7%, reaching $180 billion by 2027.
Nigeria's halal economy is a significant and growing sector. According to the Nigerian Halal Report 2023, the national domestic spending on halal products and services reached approximately $107 billion in 2022. This figure is expected to grow at a compound annual growth rate of 10.7%, reaching $180 billion.
This is an area, especially with the focus not just on food products, which we're all familiar with, and of course, halal products are not just for Muslims, they're for all who want to, who basically want to buy.
There are over 125 products that are produced in the halal way. Accessing the market presents a huge opportunity for rapid growth and improved competitiveness, and enhancement of Nigeria's ability to export. From State House, Abuja, Kehinde Amodu, Trust TV News.
You're watching News Hour on Trust TV. We'll be back shortly. Let's now join Yusuf Agogo for business news.
Welcome to Business News. I am Yusuf Agogo. The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) Foreign Trade in Goods Statistics report says about 99.1% of export goods were moved through the maritime mode of transportation in the second quarter of 2024. Details of the report indicated that the total value of the goods shipped was 19.25 trillion naira. Airport accounted for 0.38%, whereas road transport accounted for 0.16%, while category classified by NBS as others mode of transportation recorded 0.33%. On the import side, the NBS stated that maritime transport accounted for 94.94% of the value of total import, while air transport accounted for goods value at 4.66%, while road transport accounted for 0.40%. NBS said that the bulk of export trade transactions by custom imports and posts in Q1 24 were carried through Mpape port with good value at 18.1 billion naira of total exports, followed by Tinkan Island port with 791.2 billion naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria has issued a strong warning to commercial banks, payment system service providers, and other financial institutions regarding delay in responding to customer complaints. According to the new directive, banks will face a fine of 100,000 naira per day if they fail to address customer complaints within 72 hours. This directive is aimed at ensuring quicker resolution of issues, particularly those related to automated teller machines transactions. In cases where a customer ATM transaction fails and the acquirer does not initiate an automatic reversal, the financial institution will be penalized with a total refund of disputed amount and an additional fine of 50,000 naira per day. NGS closed Wednesday trading in green as stocks record gains across trading tables. Let's see how it went down today. The SFS Real Estate Investment Company lead again as the 9.99% it gained to close at 179 naira and 45 kobo per share. The honey flower also up there 9.96% to close at 5 naira and 41 kobo per share. Of course, Mayor and Baker also up as well 9.95% to close at 6 naira and 41 kobo per share. Of course, this has pushed up the index up by 0.24%. The volume of trade 347.41 million shares, value at 7.17 billion naira in a list of 9,465 lead exchange hands among investors this Wednesday. Of course, looking at the top traded equities by volume, Japogo did that table there, 63.97 million shares traded, UBA 25.02 million shares, of course, ABNH 21.68 million shares it traded at the close of business today. Of course, some equities also recorded loss. Leading that table is NNFM, Northern Nigeria Flour Mill PLC. It lost 10% to close at 39 naira and 15 kobo per share. Berger also down there as well, 9.81% on the negative side to close at 21 naira and 60 kobo per share. Deep Carb is on the negative side today, 9.68%, and it closed at 84 kobo per share there. And that's the highlight of stock trading as it went down this Wednesday on the floor of NGS. Let's see the global stock market and exchange rate data for today. Oil prices fall on Wednesday after two sessions of gain after an industry report show increasing U.S. crude and fuel inventories, offsetting rising tension in the Middle East and the potentially bullish impact of U.S. interest rate cuts. At the London market, Brent crude sells for $73 per barrel. For the open basket, dealers offer $72 per barrel. And that's business. I am Yusuf Akogu.
On the foreign scene, communication devices used by Lebanon's armed group Hezbollah detonated late Wednesday afternoon across the country's south and in the southern suburb of the capital, Beirut, killing at least 9 people and wounding 300 others, according to the Lebanese Health Ministry. The attack comes a day after exploding pagers killed 12 people in Lebanon and Syria, including 2 children, and injured around 2,800 others. The Lebanese group vowed retaliation as it held Israel fully responsible for the attacks. Israel has declined to comment. UN General Assembly overwhelmingly adopted a resolution calling on Israel to end its illegal occupation of Palestinian territories within 1 year. Amid rising tensions within Hezbollah, Israel's defense minister declares start of a new phase in the war, saying after months of fighting against Hamas in Gaza, the center of gravity is shifting to the north by diverting resources and forces. At least 41,272 people have been killed and 95,551 wounded in Israel's war on Gaza. In Israel, the number of those killed in the Hamas-led attacks on October the 7th is 1,139, while more than 200 people were taken captive. Time now to join Emmanuel Fashemi on latest in sports.
Right-hand batter and African Games bronze medalist Mpape Lucky will captain Nigeria's under-19 girls as they travel to Rwanda for the 2025 ICC Under-19 Women's Cricket World Cup qualifiers. The Nigeria Cricket Federation on Tuesday released a 14-player roster for the rescheduled qualifiers, which will be played from September 22nd to 29th, 2024 in Kigali, Rwanda. Captain Mpape is joined by some other female yellow-green stars like Super Bowler Peculiar Agboya, teenage sensation Shola Adekunle, Lillian Ude, and Christabel Chukwunonye. The other players in the roster include Kehinde Amusa, Anointed Ahigbe, Peace Hussein, Deborah Bassi, Egwakun Omosiho, Victory Igbenejon, Iyene Ubong, Naomi Meme, and Beauty Ugwai. The team, whose journey started with a series involving Ghana under-19 team, Nigeria selected, and Southwest, will face Malawi, Tanzania, and Zimbabwe at the qualifiers. Nigeria was initially bid to play in a two-group tournament of 7 teams each, but the late inclusion of Zimbabwe resulted in the withdrawal of the top 4 sides from the series to form another division. The winners of the Division 1 qualifier will pick Africa's second ticket to the tournament in Malaysia. They will join host of the previous edition South Africa and New Zealand, and new entrant Samoa in Group C of the World Cup finals. The tournament is the second edition and will be played from January 8th to February 2nd, 2025 in Malaysia, featuring 16 teams. Nigeria Premier Football League (NPFL) has warned that stiff penalties await clubs that are caught in the act of match disruption. The league made its decision known in a letter dated 14 September 2024, signed by its Chief Operating Officer Davison Owumi. Owumi reminded the clubs that it is their responsibility to make provisions for adequate security during their home games. He further said the home clubs shoulder the burden of ensuring the security of the visiting players, officials, and their fans prior to, during, and after their home matches. And that is sports. I am Emmanuel Fashemi.
And that concludes this edition of News Hour on Trust TV. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I'm Muhammad Kura Abubakar. Thank you for watching.